In a small village deep in Nigeria, surrounded by vast grasslands and tall baobab trees, there was a young boy named Tunde. He often visited the traveling circus that set up in his town once a year. Of all the attractions, what fascinated him most was the mighty elephant. The massive creature, with its thick gray skin and large tusks, looked powerful beyond imagination. Yet, each time Tunde visited, he noticed something strange. This enormous elephant was tied to a small wooden stake by nothing more than a weak rope. One day, unable to suppress his curiosity, Tunde approached the elephant's caretaker, an old man named Baba Chidi. "Sir, this elephant is so strong, it could easily break free from that tiny rope." "Why does it not escape?" Tunde asked, his eyes wide with wonder. Baba Chidi smiled and sat down on a wooden stool. "Ah, my child," he began, "this elephant has been tied with a rope since it was a baby. Back then, it was small and weak, and no matter how hard it pulled, it could not break free. It struggled for days, then weeks, but the rope always held firm. Eventually, it gave up. Now, even though it has grown into a giant, it still believes that the rope is unbreakable. It never tries to escape, not because it cannot, but because it believes it cannot." Tunde's heart sank as he stared at the elephant, realizing that the mighty beast was held captive not by the rope, but by its own mind. The boy left the circus that evening with many thoughts. If an elephant, strong enough to uproot trees, could be controlled by a false belief, what about people? What about him? Were there chains in his own life, chains that existed only in his mind? As the years passed, Tunde grew into a young man, and the story of the elephant never left him. He saw people held back by the chains of fear, doubt, and what others told them. His friend Chinedu, a talented drummer, never pursued music because people told him it was not a real job. His neighbor, Mama Ada, had always dreamed of starting a business, but she believed she was too old to begin. Everywhere Tunde looked, he saw invisible ropes, unseen chains, holding people back from their true potential. Determined to break free, Tunde set out on a journey of self-discovery. He started questioning the doubts and limitations he had accepted as truths. Could he really not achieve greatness? Could he not learn new skills, chase his dreams, and overcome his fears? Little by little, he began to push past his mental barriers. His journey was not easy. Tunde faced criticism and rejection. People laughed at his ambitions, telling him that he was chasing shadows. But he remembered the elephant and reminded himself that the only real chains were in his mind. So he kept pushing forward. He sought knowledge, practiced new skills, and surrounded himself with people who believed in him. Tunde took risks. He failed again. But each failure taught him that the rope was never real. It was just a lie, just like the elephant's belief in its unbreakable chain. And as Tunde freed himself from his own invisible bonds, he inspired others to do the same. Chinedu picked up his drumsticks again. Mama Ada started her small shop and saw it grow. People who once lived in fear stepped into the light of possibility. One day, Tunde returned to the circus. He found Baba Chidi and smiled. "Sir," he said, "I have spent my life breaking my own chains. But tell me, has the elephant ever broken free?" The old caretaker laughed, his eyes twinkling. "Ah, my boy, the elephant may never know its strength, but you have, and that makes all the difference." Tunde left that day knowing that some chains are never real. In life, many people remain trapped, not by physical barriers, but by their own minds. They fear failure they doubt themselves, and they listen to voices that tell them they cannot succeed. But like the elephant, these chains can be broken, and when they are, the world becomes a place of endless possibilities. Over the years, Tunde traveled far and wide, sharing his message. He visited cities and remote villages, speaking to children, young adults, and elders alike. He met a farmer who dreamed of owning more land, but had never tried because he believed he lacked the means. He met a young girl, Amara, who wanted to become a doctor, but thought she was not smart enough. He shared the story of the elephant with them, urging them to break their own chains. As Tunde's influence grew, he started a movement. Schools invited him to speak, marketplaces echoed with his message, and even village elders encouraged the younger generation to dream beyond limitations. Stories of success began to emerge. The farmer started saving and bought more land. Amara studied hard and got a scholarship to medical school. People who once saw themselves as powerless realized that their strength had been inside them all along. Tunde became a beacon of hope, a symbol of what was possible when people rejected fear and self-doubt. His story inspired books, songs, and even plays that were performed in theaters across the country. And yet, he remained humble, always reminding people that he was just like them, a boy who once believed in a rope that never existed. And so, the lesson of the elephant continued, not just as a story, but as a movement that reminded people that the strongest chains are the ones we place on our minds, and that, with courage and determination, they can be broken. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, never let false beliefs hold you back. The greatest chains are the ones we place on ourselves. But the good news is, they can be broken. Dare to take the first step. Dare to believe in yourself. If you push forward despite fear, despite failure, one day you will realize that you were always stronger than you thought. Your dreams are waiting, so break free and chase them. If you like this story, kindly subscribe, like the video, and share to help us grow.